My daughter stood there crying baby in arm, scrubbing dishes, while her husband and his mother sat like royalty barking, "Bring us food." I said nothing. I just made one phone call that would end their world. I'd driven 3 hours to surprise Audrey, who'd stopped answering my calls. Audrey used to be fearless. Marriage had turned her voice into apologies. That scared me more than the bruise she hid. She stood at the sink, Maya on her hip, hair unwashed, wrists raw, a bruise beneath her sleeve. At the table, Julian carved roast beef while his mother Eleanor sipped wine from my crystal glasses. "Move faster," Julian snapped. "Bring us more food." Audrey flinched. Julian leaned back. "Audrey's overwhelmed since the baby. We're teaching her discipline." I walked over, took Maya from her shaking arm, and kissed her forehead. Then I whispered, "Bluebird?" It was the word we'd chosen for emergencies. Her eyes filled. She gave the smallest nod. Julian laughed. "Don't encourage the drama. She has a roof, food, and a husband who provides." The roof, the food, the money he called providing. None of it was his. After my husband died, I'd protected the house and the company shares in a trust. Julian got a job, not ownership. Eleanor got 6 weeks as a guest. She stayed 11 months. They had mistaken access for possession. I set Maya in her stroller, phone in hand. "Who are you calling?" Eleanor asked. "Someone who handles family emergencies." I called Arthur Vance, our attorney of 20 years. "Arthur," I said, "activate Bluebird. Suspend every card. Revoke property access." "Already moving," he said. Julian smirked. "Whatever little tantrum this is, finish it after dinner." I sat beside Audrey and folded my hands. "Oh, I will," I said. Before dessert, Julian kept eating. Arrogant men rarely see danger until it asks for ID. Eleanor pushed her empty plate toward Audrey. "Clear this." I caught my daughter's wrist. "Sit." Julian's smile vanished. "My wife listens to me." "No," I said. "In this house, you've been tolerated." His phone buzzed. Then Eleanor's. "Cards declined. Cars gone." "What did you do?" he demanded. "Protected company property." "Those cars are mine. They're leased, not owned." Eleanor scoffed. "You cannot throw us out." Julian renovated this place. "Stolen from the restaurant expansion fund," Audrey said. We all turned. She was pale, eyes no longer lowered. Julian stared at her. "What did you say?" She pulled a black drive from Maya's stroller. "For 8 months, you funneled money into your mother's shell company, forged my approval, and threatened my silence." Eleanor froze. Julian's fury turned to calculation. "She's confused. Postpartum depression." "That's what you told the doctor," Audrey said, "after you shoved me into the pantry." 3 weeks earlier, Audrey had uploaded photos, bank screenshots, and recordings into an encrypted archive. Bluebird had unlocked it. Arthur called back on speaker. 9 unauthorized transfers, $680,000, Arthur said. Forged signatures. False invoices. Julian's face drained. Eleanor pointed at Audrey. "Ungrateful liar. We took care of you. You rationed my food. Took my phone. Locked me in the nursery so Julian could sleep," Audrey said. Julian lunged. I stepped between them. He was taller. I'd negotiated hostile takeovers. Julian was just a bully. "Touch either of us," I said, "and the civil case becomes a criminal scene." A knock echoed through the house. Arthur walked in with a locksmith and 2 officers. Julian looked at Audrey. "You called the police?" "No," she said. "I collected evidence." Mom listened. Detective Miller laid down photographs. Bruises, a damaged door, a pantry lock outside. Silence swallowed the room. Julian finally understood. He'd trapped the woman who owned his salary and his life. The man who bragged he owned everything never read his own paperwork. Arthur slid 2 papers across the table. "Termination for cause," he said, "and revocation of your right to live here." Julian stared at the papers. Dessert had not yet been served. If you want the full story, comment Bluebird, and I'll post it in the channel.